Whipped coffee meets pumpkin pie in this easy-to-make crustless dessert without pastry. I've collected everything I'll need to make pumpkin pie filling and whipped coffee. For the filling, pumpkin puree, evaporated milk, sugars, spices, and eggs. For the whipped coffee, sugar, instant coffee, and evaporated milk. I'm starting with the pumpkin pie filling, and the main ingredient is pumpkin. I start with pumpkin puree. This tin contains only pumpkin, no additives or spices, and this puree has the best consistency for a velvety smooth finish. I've been baking with this pumpkin puree for many years. Next, the eggs. 4 extra large eggs. And the spice mix. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, ½ teaspoon nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon cloves. Only 3 more ingredients, and this pumpkin pie filling will be ready to mix. Brown sugar, 2/3 of a cup, white sugar, 2/3 of a cup, and 354 ml of partly skimmed evaporated milk. Stir with a wire whip until the filling is well mixed. When the filling is well mixed, it will be light and bubbly. I'm testing a new recipe idea, and I hope it turns out as well as I'm expecting. I'm starting with a jumbo muffin cup baking tray. I'm lining the cups with jumbo-sized paper cup liners for 2 reasons. First, the fluted edges will create an interesting design. Secondly, removing the baked pumpkin pie filling from the baking tray will be easier. This one's a little crushed on one side. I'll replace it with another. I'm pouring the pumpkin pie filling into a spouted measuring cup. It's easier to fill the paper cups this way, and I'll see how much filling is required to fill these 6 jumbo cups. This tray is ready to bake. Let's see how much pumpkin pie filling batter I have left with what remains in the mixing bowl. I started with 5 cups of filling, and I have about a ½ cup left over. A total of 2 1/3 cups. I have only 1 jumbo muffin baking tray, so I'll continue with my regular sized muffin tray and see how many I can bake. 6 more. After cleaning the batter from the surface and removing the unnecessary paper cups, this regular-sized muffin tray is ready to bake alongside the other tray. It's been about 35 minutes of baking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Inserting a knife will show whether this filling needs more cooking time. The knife comes out mostly clean but a little moist. Both filling trays are ready to come out of the oven and cool to room temperature. While the filling cools, I'll attempt to make the whipped coffee I'll use as a garnish. I'm starting with 1/4 cup of evaporated partly skimmed milk. Next, the instant coffee. The ratios of coffee to milk to sugar should be equal, but I want a slightly thinner result that will drizzle, but also hold its shape as a topping too. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of coffee to start and see how it turns out. After giving this mixture a stir to dissolve the coffee, I'm adding the granulated white sugar, 1/4 cup. I could stir this mixture until it becomes whipped coffee, but that would take a long time. I'll use my hand mixer to finish the job. Tipping the bowl to one side speeds up the process. After 5 minutes of whipping, this whipped coffee mixture is still a little too thin. I'll continue a few more minutes. Still too liquidy and thin. I'll add another tablespoon of instant coffee and see how this turns out. Still a little thin, but better than before. Time to assemble this crustless pumpkin pie dessert. Surprisingly, after resting a few minutes, this whipped coffee has actually thickened a little more. Nice smooth ribbons. Perfect. Let's see how this turns out. Lovely. Next, the cooked pumpkin filling. Just look at those perfect edges created by the fluted paper cup. Those fluted edges are moist and delicate. Grabbing it by hand and peeling it from the paper has squashed that perfect design. See, I'll need another solution for the next plating. A little whipped coffee topping, a fresh raspberry, a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. Beautiful. Let's try it. And now, let's plate the regular size cooked filling. After a few more minutes of the whipped coffee resting on the counter untouched, it's definitely thickened up more. I think 3 tablespoons of instant coffee would have worked well instead of 4. Resting time was all that was required. Instead of with my hands, I'm removing this cooked pumpkin pie filling with a metal spatula and moving it off the spatula with a fork. I'm garnishing this regular-sized filling the same as the jumbo-sized one. I've enjoyed the other one. This one's for you. Enjoy! Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification bell to get all the latest under 300 calories recipes.